Shalom, shalom, dear friends from the nation. We welcome you to journey through the scriptures. We're studying the scriptures from Bereshit to Hazon, or Genesis to Revelation, within 40 days, Yahweh's willing. This far we give thanks to Yahweh. We are in the book of Matthew, and going on, we are still pushing to where Yahweh will help us to get to the end of the book of Revelation. My name is Zachariah, giving much thanks to those who follow us, to those who are liking, commenting, and also subscribing to our pages. We'll invite my brother. He will introduce himself, and then he will also mention our pages.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sisters. It is my hope that you are all doing well in Yahweh, in Yahshua, the Messiah's name. Welcome to the journey through the scriptures. As my brother has said, we are reading from the book of Genesis to the book of Revelation within the 40 days. And today we are in the book of Matthew. We are live on Victor Skeiro's timeline on Facebook, and also on YouTube has the Messianic Davar Show. The Messianic Davar Show, and also Injili ya Milele ya Yahshua Messiah. Please feel free to comment and tell us where you are watching us from. We will be happy to know where you are from, because you are a family. Feel free to like if you get inspired, and also feel free to share with others so that they can be able to hear the message of Yahweh. Matthew chapter 1. The book of the generation of Yahshua the Messiah, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, Isaac begat Jacob, Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. And Judas begat Phares and Zara of Damar, and Phares begat Esrom, and Esrom begat Aram, Aram begat Abinab, Abinab begat Nason, Nason begat Salmon, Salmon begat Boaz of Rachad, and Boaz begat Obed of Ruth, and Obed begat Jesse, Jesse begat David the king, and David the king begat Solomon of her that had been the wife of Urias. And Solomon begat Rehoboam, Rehoboam begat Abiah, Abiah begat Asa, Asa begat Josaphat, Josaphat begat Joram, Joram begat Ozias, Ozias begat Jotham, Jotham begat Achaz, Achaz begat Echias, and Echias begat Manasseh, and Manasseh begat Ammon, Ammon begat Josias. And Josias begat Genochias and his brethren about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Genochias begat Salamith, Salathiel, and Salathiel begat Zorobabel. And Zorobabel begat Abiud, Abiud begat Eliakim, Eliakim begat Azor, Azor begat Zadok, Zadok begat Achim, Achim begat Eliud, and Eliud begat Eleazar, Eleazar begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Miriam, of whom was born Yahshua, whom is called the Messiah. So all the generation from Abraham to David are 14 generation, and from David until the carrying away to the Babylon are 14 generation, and from the carrying away into Babylon unto the Messiah are 14 generation. Now the birth of Yahshua the Messiah on this wise, when as his mother Miriam was enspoiled to Joseph. Before they came together, she was found with the child of the Holy Spirit. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privately. But while he thought on these things, behold, the angel of Yahweh appeared down to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, you son of David, fear not to take you Miriam, your wife, for that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. And she shall bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Yahshua, for he shall save his people from their sin. Now all this was done that it may be fulfilled which was spoken of Yahweh by the prophet, saying, behold, a virgin shall be with a child, and shall bring forth a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which being interpreted is El with us. Then Joseph, being raised from sleep, did as the angel of Yahweh had bidden him, and took him his wife, and knew her not till she had brought forth her firstborn son, and he called his name Yahshua. Matthew chapter 2. Now when Yahshua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born king of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and we are come to worship him. And when Herod the king had heard this thing, he was troubled, and and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and the scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Messiah should be born. And they said unto him, In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, And art you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the priests of Judah, for out of you shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, Go and search diligently for the young child, and when you have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Miriam, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasure, they presented unto him gifts, gold, and frankincense, and myrrh. And being warned of Elohim in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country in another way. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of Yahweh appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be you there until I bring you word from Herod. He will seek the young child to destroy him. When he rose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of Yahweh by the prophet, saying, Out of Egypt have I called my son. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the courts therefore from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, In Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and will not be comforted because they are not. But when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of Yahweh appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother, and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child life. And he rose and took the young child and his mother, and came into the land of Israel. But when he heard that Archelaus did reign in Judea in the room of his father Herod, he was afraid to go there, notwithstanding being warned of Elohim in a dream. He turned aside into the parts of Galilee. And he came and dwelt in a city called Nazareth, that it may be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, He shall be called a Nazarene. Matthew chapter 3. In those days came John the Baptist, preaching in the wilderness of Judea, and saying, Repent you, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For this is he that was spoken by the prophet Elias, saying, The voice of the one crying in the wilderness, preparing you the way of Yahweh, make his path straight. And the same John had his raiment of camel hair, and a leathern girdle about his loins, and his meat was locusts and wild honey. Then went out to him Jerusalem and all Judea and all the region about Jordan, and were baptized of him in Jordan, confessing their sin. But when he saw many of the Pharisees and Sadducees come to his baptism, he said unto him, O generation of vipers, who hath warned you to flee from the word of to come? Bring forth therefore fruits meet for repentance, and think not to say within yourself, We have Abraham to our father. For I say unto you, that Yahweh is able of this stone to raise children unto Abraham. And now also the axe is laid unto the root of the tree. Therefore every tree which brings not forth good fruit is held down and cast into the fire. I indeed baptize you with water unto repentance, but he that cometh after me is mightier than I, whose shoes I am not worthy to bear. He shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire, whose fan is in his hand, and he will thoroughly purge his floor and gather his wheat into the grana, but he will burn up the chaff with unquenched fire. Then came YAHSHUAH from Galilee to Jordan unto John to be baptized of him. But John forbade him, saying, I have need to be baptized of you, and you come you to me. And YAHSHUAH answered and said unto him, Suffer it to be so now, for thus is it becomes us to fulfill all righteousness. Then he suffered him. And YAHSHUAH, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water, and lo, the heavens were opened unto him, and he saw the Spirit of Yahweh descending like a dove, and lightening upon him. And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
Matthew chapter number 4. Then YAHSHUAH was led up by the Ruach into the wilderness to be tried by the devil. And after having fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And Itrais came and said to him, If you are son of Yahweh, command that these stones become bread. But he answering said, it has been written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of Yahweh. Then the devil took him up into the Kodesh city, put him on the edge of the Mikdash, and said to him, If you are son of Yahweh, throw yourself down, for it has been written, He shall command his messengers concerning you, and if in their hands they shall bear you up, so that you do not dash your foot against a stone. Yahshua said to him, It has also been written, You shall not try your Elohim, Yahweh your Elohim. Again the devil took him up on a very high mountain and showed him all the reigns of the world and their esteem, and said to him, All this I shall give you if you fall down and worship me. Then Yahshua said to him, Go, Satan, for it has been written, You shall worship Yahweh your Elohim, and him alone you shall serve. Then the devil left him, and see, the messenger came and attended him. And Yahshua, having heard that Yohanan had been put in prison, withdrew into Galilee. And leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Capharnaum, which is by sea in the border of Zebulun and Naphtali, to fulfill what was spoken by Yeshayahu the Nabi, saying, Land of Zebulun and land of Naphtali, the way of the sea beyond Jordan, Galilee of the Gentiles. The people who sat in darkness saw a great light, and upon those who sat in the land and shadow of death, light arose to them. From the time Yeshua began to proclaim and to say, Repent for the reign of the Shemaim has drawn near. And Yeshua, walking by the sea of Galilee, saw two brothers, Shimon and Kepha, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. And he said to them, Follow me, and I shall make you fishers of men. And immediately they left their nets and followed him. And going on from there, he saw two other brothers, Jacob and of Zabdi, and Johanan his brother, in the boat with Zabdi their father, mending their nets. And he called them, and immediately they left the boats and their father and followed him. And Yeshua went about all Galilee, touching in their congregations and proclaiming the good news of the reign, and healing every disease and every bodily weakness among the people. And the news about him went out into all Syria, and they brought to him all who were sick, afflicted with various diseases and pains, and those who were demon-possessed, and epileptics, and paralytics, and he healed them. And a large crowds from Galilee and Decapolis and Jerusalem and Yehuda and beyond Jordan followed him. Matthew chapter number 5. But when he saw the crowd, he went on a mountain, and when he was seated, his Talmidim came to him. And having opened his mouth, he was teaching them, saying, Baruch are the poor in spirit, because there is a reign of Shemaim. Baruch are those who are mourn, because they shall be comforted. Baruch are the meek, because they shall inherit the earth. Baruch are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, because they shall be filled. Baruch are the compassionate, because they shall obtain compassion. Baruch are the clean in heart, because they shall see Elohim. Baruch are the peacemakers, because they shall be called sons of Elohim. Baruch are those persecuted for righteousness' sake, because there is a reign of the Shemaim. Baruch are you when they reproach and persecute you, and falsely say every wicked word against you, for my sake. Rejoice and be glad, because your reward in the Shemaim is great. For in this way they persecuted the Nabim who were before you. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt becomes tasteless, how shall it be seasoned? For it is no longer of any use, but to be thrown out to the trodden down by men. You are the light of the world. It is impossible for a city to be hidden on a mountain, nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it shines to all those in the house. Let your light so shine, men, so that they see your good works and praise your Father who is in the Shemaim. Do not think that I came to destroy the Torah of the Nabim. I did not come to destroy, but to complete. For truly I say to you, till the Shemaim and the earth pass away, and one yod or one title shall by no means pass from the Torah till all be done. Whoever then breaks one of the least of these commands and teaches men so shall be called least in the reign of the Shemaim. But whoever does and teaches them, he shall be called great in the reign of the Shemaim. For I say to you that unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall by no means enter the reign of the Shemaim. You heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not murder, and whoever murders shall be liable to judgment. But I say to you that whoever is wroth with his brother without a cause shall be liable to the judgment. And whoever says to his brother, Raka, shall be liable to the Sanhedrin. But whoever say, you fool, shall be liable to the fire of Gehinnom. If then you bring your gift to the altar, and there remember that your brother holds whatever against you, leave your gift there before the altar and go far, make peace with your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Be well minded with your opponent promptly with you and are on the way with him, lest your opponent deliver you to the judge, and the judge to the officer, and you be thrown into prison. Truly I say to you, you shall by no means get out of there till you have paid the last quarter. You heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not commit adultery. But I say to you that everyone looking at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And if your right eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it from you. For it is better for you that one of your member perish than for your entire body to be thrown into Gehinnom. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it from you. For it is better for you that one of your member to perish than your entire body to be thrown into Gehinnom. And it has been said, whoever puts away his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that whoever puts away his wife, except for the matter of whoring, makes her commit adultery. And whoever marries a woman who has been put away commits adultery. Again, you heard that it was said to those of old, you shall not swear falsely, but shall perform your oath to Yahweh. But I say to you, do not swear falsely at all, neither by the Shemaim, because it is Elohim's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstep, nor by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great sovereign. Nor swear by your head, because you are not able to make one hair white or black. But let your words a word yes be yes, and no be no. And what goes beyond this is from the wicked one. You heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist the wicked, but whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn your other to him also. But whoever wants to see you and take away your inner garment, let him have outer garment as well. And whoever compels you to go 1 million, go with him too. Give to him who asks of you, and from him who wants to borrow from you, do not turn away. You heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies, baruch those cursing you, and do good to those hating you, and pray for those insulting you and persecuting you, so that you become sons of your fathers in the Shemaim, because he makes his sun rise on the wicked and on the good, and send rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous. For if you love those loving you, and what reward have you? Are the tax collectors not doing the same too? And if you greet your brothers only, what do you want? Do you do more? Are the tax collectors not doing so? Therefore, be perfect as your Father in the Shemaim is perfect. Matthew chapter number 6. Beware of doing beware of doing your kind deeds before men, in order to be seen by them. Otherwise, you have no reward from your Father in the Shemaim. Thus, when you do a kind deed, do not sound a trumpet before you, as the hypocrites do, in the congregations and in the streets, to be praised by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward. But when you do a kind deed, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, so that your kind deeds shall be in secret, and your Father who sees in secret shall himself reward you openly. And when you pray, you shall not be like the hypocrites, for they love to pray standing in the congregations and on the corners of the street, to be seen by men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward. But you, when you pray, go into a room, and having shut the door, pray to your Father who is in a secret place, and your Father who sees in secret shall reward you openly. And when praying, do not keep on babbling like Gentiles, for they think that they shall be heard from the many words. Therefore, do not be like them, for your Father knows what you need before you ask him. This then is the way you should pray. Our Father who is in the Shemaim, let your name be Kodesh, let your reign come, let your desire be done on earth as it is in the Shemaim. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And do not lead us into trial, but deliver us from the wicked one. Because yours is the reign and the power and the esteem forever. Amen. For if you forgive men their trespasses, your Father of the Shemaim shall also forgive you. But if you do not forgive men with their trespasses, neither shall your Father forgive your trespasses. And when you fast, do not be sad-faced like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces so that they appear to be fasting to men. Truly I say to you, they have their reward. But you, when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that you do not appear to men to be fasting, but to yourself, to your Father who is in the secret place. And your Father who sees in the secret shall reward you openly. Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in the Shemaim, where neither moth nor rust destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart shall be also. The lamp of the body is the eye. If the eye is good, all your body shall be enlightened. But if your eye is evil, all your body shall be darkened. If then the light is within you, is darkness, how great is that darkness? No one is able to serve two masters, for either he shall hate the one and love the other, or else he shall cling to one and despise the other. You are not able to serve Elohim and wealth. Because of this I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you shall eat or drink, or about your body, or what you put on. Is not life more than the food, and the body more than the clothing? Look at the birds of the Shemaim, for they neither sow nor reap nor gather into the storehouse, yet the Father of the Shemaim feeds them. Are you not worth more than they? And which of you, by whoring, is able to add a pecus to his lifespan? So why do you worry about clothing? Not well, and the lilies of the field, how they grow, they neither toil nor spin. And I say to you that even Shalom is in all his esteem was not dressed like one of these. But if Elohim so clothes the grass of the field, which while exists today and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, how much more you, O you of little belief? Do not worry then, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For all this the Gentiles seek for, and your Father of the Shemaim knows that you need all this. But seek first the reign of Elohim and his righteousness, and all things shall be added to you. Do not then worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow shall have its own worries. Each day has enough evil of itself.
Matthew chapter 7. Judge not that you be not judged, for with what judgment ye judge you shall be judged, and with what measure you mete shall be measured to you again. And why behold you the note that is in your brother's eye, but considers not the beam that is in your own eye? Or how will you say to your brother, let me pull out the note of your own eye, and behold, a beam is in your own eye? You hypocrites, first cast out the beam out of your own eye, and then you shall see clearly to cast out the mote out of your brother's eye. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast you your pearls before swine, lest they stumble them under their feet, and turn again and rend you. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asks received, and he that seeks finds, and to him that knocked it shall be opened. Or what man is there of you whom, if the son ask for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he ask for a fish, will he give him a serpent? If he then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Therefore, all things whatever you would that men should do to you, do even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Enter you into enter you in at the straight gate, for the wide is the gate that and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in their art. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leads unto life, and few there be that find it. Be aware of false prophets which come to you in sheep clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree brings forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree brings forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that brings not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits you shall know them. Not everyone that said unto me, Master, Master, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say unto me in that day, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in your name, and in your name have we cast out devils, and in your name done many wondrous works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you, depart from me, that you work of iniquities. Therefore, whosoever hears this saying of mine and doth them, I will liken him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And when the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and the beat came upon the house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth this saying of mine and doth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and the beat upon the house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And it came to pass, when YAHSHUAH had ended this saying, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. Matthew chapter 8. When he was come down from the mountain, great multitude following him, and behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Master, if you would, you can't make me clean. And YAHSHUAH put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be you clean. And immediately his leprosy was clean. And YAHSHUAH said unto him, See, you tell no man, but go your way, show yourself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded for a testimony unto them. And when YAHSHUAH was entered into Capernaum, they came unto him a centurion, beseeching him, and saying, Master, my servant lieth at home, sick of the pulse, grievously tormented. And YAHSHUAH said unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Master, I am not worthy that you should come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, Go, and he goes, and another, Come, and he comes. And to my servant, Do this, and he doth it. When YAHSHUAH heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, not in Israel. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into the darkness. There shall be weeping and gushing of tears. And YAHSHUAH said unto the centurion, Go your way, and as you have believed, so be it done unto you. And his servant was healed in the same hour. And when YAHSHUAH was come into Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of fever. And he touched her hand, and a fever left her. And she arose and ministered unto them. When the even was come, they brought unto him many that were possessed with devil, and he cast out the spirit with the word, and healed all that were sick, that it may be fulfilled which was spoken by Elias the prophet, saying, Himself took out infirmities and bare our sickness. Now when YAHSHUAH saw the great multitudes about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. And a certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow you wheresoever you go. And YAHSHUAH said unto him, The foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has not where to lay his head. And another of his disciples said unto him, Master, suffer me first to go and bury my father. But YAHSHUAH said unto him, Follow me, and let the dead bury their dead. And when he was entered into a ship, his disciple followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he was asleep. And his disciple came to him and awoke him, saying, Master, save us, we perish. And he said unto them, Why are you fearful of you little faith? Then he rose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. But the men marveled, saying, What manner of man is this, that even the winds and the sea obey him? And when he was come to the other side into the country of the Gagnes, they met him too possessed with demons, coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass by that way. And behold, they cried out, saying, What have we to do with thee, Yahshua, you son of Yahweh? Art thou come hither to torment us before that the time? And there was a good way off from them, and herd of many swine feeding. And there was a good way off from them, and herd of many swine feeding. So the demons besought him, saying, If you cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine. And he said unto them, Go. And when they come out, they went into the herd of swine, and behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down a steep place into the sea, and perished in the waters. And they that kept them fled, and went their way into the city, and told everything that what had befallen to the possessed of the devil. And behold, the whole city came out to meet Yahshua, and when they saw him, they besought him that he would depart out of their coasts. Matthew chapter 9. And he entered into a ship and passed over and came into his own city. And behold, they brought to him a man sick of pulse, lying on a bed. And Yahshua, seeing their faith, said unto the sick of pulse, Son of, be of good cheer, your sin be forgiven you. And behold, a certain of the scribes said within themselves, This man blasphemeth. And Yahshua, knowing their thoughts, said, Wherefore think you evil in your hearts? For whether is easier to say, Your sin be forgiven you, or say, Arise and walk? But that you may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sin, then said he to the sick of the pulse, Arise, take up your bed, and go into your house. And he arose and departed to his house. But when the multitude saw it, they marveled and glorified Elohim, which had given such power unto men. And as Yahshua passed forth from thence, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the recipe of custom, and he said unto him, Follow me. And he arose and followed him. And it came to pass, as Yahshua sat at meat in the house, behold, many publicans and sinners came and sat down with him and his disciple. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto his disciple, Why eat your master with the publicans and sinners? But when Yahshua heard that, he said unto them, They that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick. But go you and learn what that means. I will have mercy and not sacrifice, for I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance. Then came to him the disciples of John, saying, Why do we and the Pharisees fast off, but your disciples fast not? And Yahshua said unto them, Can the children of the bride chamber mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the day will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them, and then they shall fast. No man putteth a piece of new cloth unto an old garment, for that which is put in to fill it up takes from the garment, and rent is made worse. Neither do men put a new wine into the old bottle, else the bottle break, and the wine runs out, and the bottle perish. But they put a new wine into a new bottle, and both are preserved. While he spoke these things unto them, behold, there came a certain ruler and worshipped him, saying, My daughter is even now dead, but come and lay your hand upon her, and she shall live. And Yahshua arose and followed him, and so did his disciple. And behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years kept behind him, and touched the hem of his garment. For she said within herself, If I may but touch his garment, I shall be whole. But Yahshua turned him about, and when he saw her, she said, Daughter, be of good comfort, your faith hath made you whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. And when Yahshua came into the ruler's house and saw the minstrels and the people making a noise, he said unto them, Give place, for the maid is not dead, but sleeps. And they laughed him to scorn. But when the people were put forth, he went in and took her by the hand, and the maid arose. And the fame hereof went abroad into all the land. And when Yahshua departed thence, two blind men followed him, crying and saying, You son of David, have mercy on us. And when he came into the house, the blind men came to him. And Yahshua said unto them, Believe you that I am able to do this? They said unto him, Yea, master. Then he touched their eyes, saying, According to your faith be it done unto you. And their eyes were opened, and Yahshua straightly charged them, saying, See that no man know. But they, when they were departed, spread abroad his fame in all that country. As they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with the demon. And when the demon was cast out of the dumb, spake, and the multitude marveled, saying, It was never so seen in Israel. About all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogue, and preaching the good news of the kingdom, and healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted, and they were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Then said he unto his disciple, The harvest road is precious, plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the master of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest.
Matthew chapter number 10. And having called his 12 Talmidim near, he gave them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal every disease and every bodily weakness. And these are the names of the 12 emissaries. First, Shimon, who is called Kepha, and Andre his brother, and Jacob the son of Zabdi, and Johanan his brother, Philippus and Bartholomew, Thomas, and Matthias the tax collector, Jacob and of Hereb, and Rabbi, whose last name was Tadai, Shimon the Canaanite, and Yehuda from Kerioth, who also delivered him up. Yahshua sent these 12 out, having commanded them, saying, "Do not go into the way of the Gentiles, and do not enter the city of Sheromanites, but rather go to the lost sheep and house of Israel. As you go, proclaim, saying, the reign of Shemaim has drawn near. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. You have received without paying, give out without being paid. Do not acquire gold and silver or copper from your money belt, or a bag for the journey, or 2,000 and a garment or sandals of stuff, for their workers is worthy of his food. And into whatever city or village you enter, ask of or who is worthy in it, and stay therein you live. As you enter into a house, greet it. And if your house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you. And whoever does not receive you nor hear your words when you leave that house or city, shake off the dust from your feet. Truly I say to you, it shall be more bearable for the land of the Sodom and Amorrah in the days of judgment than for that city. See, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. Therefore be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. But beware of men, for they shall deliver you up to the Sanhedrins and flog you in their congregations. And you shall be brought before governors and sovereigns for my sake, and as a witness to them and to the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, do not worry about who, how, or what you should speak, for it shall be given to you in that hour what you shall speak. For it is not you who speak, but the work of your Father speaks in you. And the brothers shall deliver up brothers to death, and father his child, and children shall rise up against parents and shall put them to death. And you shall be hated by all for my name's sake, but he who shall have endured to the end shall be saved. And when they persecute you in the city, flee to another, for truly I say to you, you shall not by no means have gone through the cities of Israel before the Son of Adam comes. A Talmidim is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. It is enough for the Talmidim to become like his teacher, and a servant like his master. If they are called the master of the house of Beelzebul, how much more those of his household? Therefore do not fear them. For whoever is covered shall be revealed, and whoever is hidden shall be made known. And what I say to you is in the dark, speak in the light. What you hear in the ear, proclaim it on the housetops. And do not fear those who kill the body, but are unable to kill the being, but rather fear who is able to destroy both the being and the body in Gehinnom. And are not 2 sparrows sold for a copper coin? Are not one of them fall to the ground without your Father? And even the hair of your head are all numbered. So do not fear, you are worth more than many sparrows. Everyone therefore who shall confess me before men, him I shall also confess before my Father who is in the Shemaim. But whoever shall deny me before men, him I shall also deny before my Father who is in the Shemaim. Do not think that I came to bring peace on the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to bring division, a man against his father, a daughter against his mother, and a daughter-in-law against his mother-in-law. And a man's enemies are theirs of his own household. He who loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he who loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he who does not take up his stake and follow me is not worthy of me. And he who has found his life shall lose it, and he that has lost his life for my sake shall find it. He who receives you receives me, and he who receives me receives he who sent me. He who received an Nabi in the name of the Nabi shall receive an Nabi reward, and he who receives a righteous one in the name of a righteous one shall receive a righteous one's reward. And whoever gives one of those three true ones a gold cup only in my name of a Talmidim, truly I say to you, he shall by no means lose his reward. Matthew chapter number 11. And it came to be when YAHSHUAH ended instructing his 12 Talmidim that he departed from there to teach and to proclaim in their cities. And when Yohanan heard that in the prison of the work of Mashiach, he sent 2 of his Talmidim and said to him, Are you the coming one, or do we look for another? And YAHSHUAH answering said to them, Go report to Yohanan what you hear and see. Blind receive sight, lame walk, lepers are cleansed, and deaf hear. Dead are raised up, and poor are brought the good news. And Baruch is he who does not stumble in me. And as this were going, YAHSHUAH began to say to the crowds concerning Yohanan, What did you go out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaken by the wind? But what did you go out to see? A man dressed in soft garment? Look, these wearing fine softness are in the houses of the sovereign. But what did you go out to see? A Nabi? Yes, I say to you, and more than a Nabi. For he is whom it was written, See, I send my messenger before your face, who shall prepare your way before you. Truly I say to you, among the born of women there has no risen one greater than Yohanan the Immerser, yet the least one in the reign of the Shemaim is greater than he. And from the days of Yohanan the Immerser till now, the reign of the Shemaim is violated, and the violate sees it. For all the Nabim and the Torah Nabu till Yohanan. And if you want to accept it, he is Eliyahu who was about to come. And he who has ears to hear, let him hear. And to what shall I compare this generation? It is like children sitting in the marketplaces and calling to their companion, and saying, We played the flute for you, and you did not dance. We lamented to you, and you did not beat the breast. For Yohanan came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he was a demon. The son of Adam came eating and drinking. They say, See, a man, a glutton and a wine drinker, a friend of tax collector and a sinner, and a wisdom was declared right by her works. Then he began to reproach the cities in which most of his miracles had been done, because they did not repent. Woe to Chorazin, woe to the Bethsaida, because if the miracles which were done in you had been done in Sor and Sidon, they would have repented long ago in sackcloth and ashes. But I say to you, it shall be more bearable for Sor and Sidon in the days of judgment than for you. And you, Capharnaum, who are exalted to the Shemaim, shall be brought down to the grave, because if the miracle which you are done in you had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. But I say to you that it shall be more bearable for the land of Sodom in the days of judgment than for you. At that time YAHSHUAH responding said, I thank you, Father, Master of the Shemaim and earth, because you have hidden this from clever and learned ones, and have revealed them to children. Yes, Father, because so it was well pleasing in your sight. All have been handed over to me by my Father. And no one knows the Son except the Father, nor does anyone knows the Father except the Son, and he who wants the Son wants to reveal to him. Come to me, all you who labor and are burdened, and I shall give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am meek and humble in heart, and you shall find rest for your beings. For my yoke is gentle and my burden is light. Matthew chapter number 12. At that time YAHSHUAH went through the grain field on the Sabbath, and his Talmidim were hungry and began to pluck heads of the grains to eat. And when the Pharisees saw it, they said to him, Look, your Talmidim are doing what is not right to do on the Sabbath. But he said to them, Have you not read what David did when he was hungry, he and those who were with him, and how he went into the house of Elohim and ate the showbread, which was not right for him to eat, nor for those who were with him, but only for the Kohanim? Or did you not read in the Torah that on the Sabbath the Kohanim in the Mikdash profane the Sabbath and are blameless? But I say to you that in this place there is one greater than the Mikdash. And if you had known what this means, I desire compassion and not offering, you will not have condemned the blameless. For the son of Adam is our master of the Sabbath. And having left there, he went into the congregation, and see, there was a man having a withered hand, and they asked him, saying, It is right to heal on the Sabbath, so as to accuse him. And he said to them, What man is there among you who has one sheep, and if it falls into his pit on the Sabbath, shall not take hold of it and lift it out? How much more worth is a man than a sheep? So it is right to do good on the Sabbath. Then he said to the man, Stretch out your hand, and he stretched it out, and it was restored as healthy as the others. But the Pharisees went out and took counsel against him so as to destroy him. But Yahshua, knowing it, he withdrew from there, and large crowds followed him, and he healed them, and warned them not to make him known, in order that what was spoken by YAHSHUAH the Nabi might be filled with, saying, See my servant whom I have chosen, my beloved, whom my being delights. I shall put my rock upon him, and he shall declare right ruling to the nations. He shall not strive nor cry out, nor shall anyone hear his voice in the street. A crushed reed he shall not break, and smoking flax he shall not quench, till he brings forth right ruling forever. And the nation shall trust in his name. That then they brought to him one who was demon possessed, blind and dumb, and he healed him, so that the blind and dumb and man both spoke and saw. And all the crowds were amazed and said, Is this the son of David? But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, This one does not cast out demons except by Beelzebul, the ruler of the demons. And Yahshua knew their thoughts and said to them, Every rain divides against itself laid waste, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then does his reign stand? And if by Beelzebul cast out demons, by whom do your sons cast them out? Because this they shall be your judges. But if I cast out demons by Ruach of Elohim, then the reign of Elohim has come upon you. Or how is one able to enter a strong man's house and plunder his good, unless he is first blind the strong man, and then he shall plunder his house? He who is not with me is against me, and he who does not gather with me scatters abroad. But of this I say to you, and all sin and blasphemy shall be forgiven. Amen. But the blasphemy against the Ruach shall not be forgiven. Amen. And whoever speaks a word against the son of Adam, it shall be forgiven him. But whoever speaks against the Ruach HaKodesh, it shall not be forgiven him, either in the age or in the age to come. Either make the trees good and its fruit, or else make the trees rotten and its fruit rotten. For a tree is known by its fruit. Brood of others, how are you able to speak what is good, being wicked? For the mouth speaks from overflow of the heart. The good man brings forth what is good from the good treasures of his heart, and the wicked man brings forth what is wicked from the wicked treasure. And I say to you that every idle word men speak, they shall give an account of it in the day of judgment. For by your words you shall be declared righteous, and by your words you shall be declared unrighteous. Then some of your scribes and Pharisees answered, saying, Teachers, we want to see a sign from you. But he answering said to them, Oh, a wicked and adulterous generation seeking after a sign, and no sign shall be given to it except the sign of the Nabi Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the stomach of the great fish, so shall be the son of Adam be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Men of Nineveh shall stand up in the judgment with this generation and condemn it, because they repent and at the preaching of Jonah, and look, a greater than Jonah is here. The sovereignness of the soul of the south shall rise up in the judgment with this generation shall condemn it. For she came from the ends of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, and look, a greater than Solomon is here. Now when the unclean spirit goes out of a man, he goes through the dry places seeking rest and find none. Then it says, I shall return to my house from which I came, and when it comes and it finds empty, swept, and decorated, then it goes and takes with it 7 other spirits more wicked than itself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last of the manner is worse than the first, so that it shall also be with his wicked generation. And while he was still talking to the crowd, see, his mother and brother stood outside seeking to speak with him. And one said to him, See, your mothers and your brothers are standing outside seeking to speak with you. But he answering said to them who speak to him, Who is my mother and who are my brothers? And having stretched out his hand towards his talmidim, he said, See, my mothers and my brothers, for whoever does the desire of my Father who is in the Shemaim is my brother and sister and mother.
Matthew chapter 13. The same day went YAHSHUAH out of the house and sat by the sea, and a great multitude were gathered together unto him, so that he went into the ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, YAHSHUAH went forth to sow, and when he had sown, some seed fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon the stony place, when they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprang up, because they had no depth of the earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them. But others fell in the good ground, and brought forth the fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. Who hath ears to hear, let him hear. And when the disciple came and said unto him, Why speak you unto them in parables? He answered and said unto him, Because it is given unto you to know your mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundant. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parable, because they seeing not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Elias, which says, By hearing you shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing you shall see, and shall not perceive. For these people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. Hear you therefore the parable of the sower. When any one hears the words of the kingdom and understand it not, then comes the wicked one, and catches away that which was sown in his heart. This is which he received the seed by the wayside. But he that received the seed into the stony place, the same is that hears the word, and anon with joy received it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. For when the tribulation of persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. He also that received word among the thorn is he that hears the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and it becomes unfruitful. But he that receives seed into the good ground is he that hears the word and understands it, which should also bear fruit, and bear forth some 100-fold, and some 60, and some 30. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sows good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and he went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servant of the household came and said unto him, Sir, did not you sow good seed in the field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy has done this. The servant said unto him, Will you then that we go to gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while you gather up the tares, you root up also the wheat with them. Let them both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of harvest I will say to them, Reapers, gather you together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of the mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all seed. But when it is grown, It is the greatest among the herbs and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and lodge in the branches therefore. Another parable spake he unto them, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of milk, till the whole was leavened. All these things spake Yahshua into the multitude in the parable, and without a parable spoke he not unto them, that it may be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, I will utter things which have been kept in secret from the foundation of the world. Then Yahshua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciple came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares and the wheel. He answered and said unto them, He that sowed the good seed is the Son of Man, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. The enemy that sowed them is the devil, the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned into the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angel, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the righteous shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. Who hath ear to hear, let him hear. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in the field, the which when a man hath found, he hid, and for joy therefore goeth and sells all that he hath, and buy that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a merchant man seeing goodly pearls, who, when he has found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is likened into a net that was cut into the sea, and gathered every kind, which even it was full, they drew to a shore, and sat down and gathered the good into the vessel, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angel shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing of and gnashing of teeth. Yahshua said unto them, Have you understood all these things? They say unto him, Yea, Master. Then he said unto them, Therefore every scribe which is instructed unto the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which brings forth out of his treasure things new and old. And it came to pass that when Yahshua had finished this parable, he departed thence. And when he was come into his own country, he stuttered them in their synagogue in so much that they were astonished, and said, Where hath this man wisdom and these mighty works? Is not this the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Miriam? And his brethren James and Joseph and Simeon and Judas? And his sisters, are they not all with us? When then hath this man all these things? And they were offended in him. But Yahshua said unto them, A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and his own house. And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. Matthew chapter 14. At that time Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Yahshua, and said unto his servant, This is John the Baptist. He has risen from the dead, and therefore mighty works do you show from themselves in him. For Herod had laid hold on John, and behold him, and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, for his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, Is it not lawful for you to have her? And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him as a prophet. But when Herodias' birthday was kept, the daughter Herodias danced before them, and pleased Herod, whereupon he promised with the oath to give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John the Baptist's head in a charger. And the king was sorry nevertheless for her the oath's sake, and then which sat with him at meat, he commanded it to be given her. And he sent and beheaded John in prison, and his head was brought in a charger and given to the damsel, and she brought it to her mother. And his disciple came and took up the body and buried it, and went and told Yahshua. And when Yahshua heard of it, he departed thence by ship into a desert place apart. And when the people had heard therefore, they followed him on foot out of their city. And Yahshua went forth and saw the great multitude, and was moved by compassion toward them, and he healed their sick. And when it was evening, his disciple came to him, saying, This is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitudes away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves virtues. But Yahshua said unto them, They need not depart, give you them to eat. But they say unto him, We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fish. He said, Bring them hither to me. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and he took the 5 loaves and 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake and gave the loaves to his disciple, and the disciple to the multitude. And they did all eat, and they were filled, and they took up of the fragments, and remained 12 baskets full. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, beside women and children. And the straightway Yahshua constrained his disciple to get into a ship, and to go before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed in the waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Yahshua went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear. But straightway Yahshua spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered unto him, saying, Master, if it be you, bid me come unto you on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Yahshua. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Master, save me. And immediately Yahshua stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O you of little faith, wherefore didst you doubt? And when they were come into the ship, the wind ceased. And they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a true you art the Son of Elohim. And when they were gone over, they came into the land of Gennesaret. And when the men of that place and had knowledge of him, they sent forth into all the country round about, and brought unto him all that were diseases, and besought him that they may only touch the hem of his garment. And as many as touched were made perfectly whole. The book of Matthew, chapter 15. Then came to Yahshua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do you also transgress the commandment of Elohim by your tradition? For Elohim commanded, saying, Honor your mother and your father, and that he that curses his father or mother, let him die the death. But whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift by whosoever you might be profited by him, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have you made the commandment of Elohim of none effect by your tradition. Ye hypocrites, well did Elias prophesy of you, saying, The people draw near unto me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrine the commandments of men. And he commanded the multitude and said unto them, Hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man, but that which comes out of the mouth that defileth the man. Then came his disciple and said unto him, Know you that the Pharisees were offended after you heard this saying? But he answered and said, Every plant that which my heavenly Father has not planted shall be looted up. Let them alone, they be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Then answered Peter and said unto them, Declare unto us this parable. And Yahshua said, Are you also yet without understanding? Do you not yet understand that whatsoever enters in at the mouth goes into the belly and is cut out into the drought? But those things which proceed of the mouth come forth from the heart, that they defile the man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulterers, fornication, theft, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashen hands defiles not a man. Then Yahshua went thence and departed into the coast of Syro and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O master, you son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed and with a demon. But he answered her not with a word. And his disciple came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she cried after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Master, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And he said, Truth, master. Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Then Yahshua answered and said unto her, O woman, great is your faith, be it unto you even as you will. And her daughter was made whole from the very hour. And Yahshua departed from hence and came near unto the sea of Galilee, and went up into a mountain and sat there. And great multitude came unto him, having with them those that were lame, blind, dumb, maiden, and many others, that cast them down at Yahshua's feet, and he healed them. Insomuch that the multitude wondered when they saw the dumb to speak, the maiden to behold, and the lame, the maid to behold, and the lame to walk, and the blind to see, and they glorified the Elohim of Israel. Then Yahshua called his disciple unto him and said, I have compassion on the multitude, because they continue with me now 3 days, and have nothing to eat, and I will not send them away fasting, lest they faint in the way. And his disciples said unto him, where should we have so much bread in the wilderness, and so fill so great multitude? And Yeshua said unto them, how many loaves have you? And they said, 7, and a few little fishes. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the ground. And he took the 7 loaves and the fishes, and gave thanks, and brake them, and gave to his disciple, and the disciple to the multitude. And they did all eat and were filled, and they took up of the broken meat that was left 7 basketfuls. And they that did eat were 4,000 men, beside women and children. And he sent away the multitude, and took the ship, and came into the coast of Magdala.
Matthew chapter number 16. And the Pharisees and Sadducees came, and trying him, asked that he should show them a sign from the Shemaim. And he answering said to them, by what is the evening say? Fair weather, for the Shemaim is red, and in the morning stormy weather today, for the Shemaim is red and overcast. You hypocrites, know how to discern the face of the Shemaim, but know the signs of the times. A wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and no signs shall be given to it except the sign of the Nabi Jonah. And he left them and went away. And this Talmidim came to the other side, and had forgotten to take bread. And Yeshua said to them, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, why do you reason among yourselves? Understood that he did not say to beware of the leaven of the bread, but of the teachings of men say the son of Adam is. And they said, some say Yohanan the Immerser, other Eliyahu, others say Ramiyahu, or of the Anabim. And he said to them, and who do you say am I? I am. And Shimon Keph has not revealed this to you, but my Father in the Shemaim. And I also say I also say to you that you are Kepha, and on this rock I build my assembly, and the gates of the grave shall not overcome it. I shall give you the keys of the reign of the Shemaim, and whatever you bind on earth, having been loosened in the Shemaim. Then he warned his Talmidim that they shouldn't say to no one that he is YAHSHUAH MESSIAH. For that time Yeshua began to show his Talmidim that it was necessary for him to go to Jerusalem and to suffer much from the elders and chief Kohanim and scribes, and be killed, and be raised again from that day. And Kepha took him aside and began to rebuke, saying, be kind for yourselves, master. This shall not be to you. But he returned and said to Kepha, get behind me, Satan, and you are a stumbling block to me, for your thoughts are not those of Elohim, but those of men. Then Yeshua said to his Talmidim, if anyone wants to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his stake and follow me. For whoever wants to stake his life shall lose it, and whoever loses his life for my sake shall find it. But for if a man profited it gain all the world, and loses his own life, or what shall a man give in exchange for his life? For the Son of Adam is going to come in the esteem of his Father with his messengers, and then he shall reward each according to his works. Truly I say to you, there is something standing here who shall not taste death at all until he sees the Son of Adam coming his reign. Matthew chapter number 17. After 6 days, Yeshua took Kepha and Yaakov and Yohanan his brother, and brought them up on the high mountain by themselves, and he was transformed before them, and his face should shone like the sun, and his garment became as white as the light. And see, Moses and Eliyahu appeared to them, talking with him. And Kepha answering said to Yeshua, Master, is it good for us to be here? If you want, let us make here 3 booths, one for you, one for Moshe, and one for Eliyahu. And when he was still speaking, see, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and see, a voice came out of the cloud saying, this is my son, the beloved, in whom I delight. Hear him. And when the Talmidim heard, they fell on their faces, and much were afraid. But Yeshua came near and touched them and said, rise and do not be afraid. And having lifted up their eyes, they saw no one but Yeshua only. As they were coming down from the mountain, Yeshua commanded them, saying, "Do not mention this vision to anyone until the Son of Adam." As they came to the crowd, a man came up to him, kneeling down to him and saying, "Master, of your unbelief, for you truly I say to you, if you have believed as a mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it shall move, and no matter shall be impossible for you." But this kind does not go out except through prayer and fasting. And while they were staying in the Galilee, Yeshua said to them, "The Son of Adam is about to be delivered up into the hand of the men, and they shall kill him, and the third day he shall be raised up." And they were deeply grieved. And when they came into Capernaum, those who received the tax came to Kepha and said, "Does your teacher not pay the tax?" He said, "Yes." And when he came into the house, Yeshua spoke to him first, saying, "What do you think, Shimon? From whom do the sovereigns of the earth take toll or tax? From their own sons or from the exempt? But lest we caught them to the stumble, go to the sea, cast in who can take the fish that comes up first. And when you have opened its mouth, you shall find a coin. Take that and give it to them for me and you." Matthew chapter number 18. At that time the Talmudim came to Yeshua, saying, "Who then is the greatest in the reign of the Shemaim?" And Yeshua called a little child to him, put him in the midst, and said, "Truly I say to you, unless you turn and become a little children, you shall by no means enter in the reign of the Shemaim. Whoever then humbles himself as this little child is the greatest in the reign of the Shemaim, and whoever receives a little child like this is in my name's sake receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believes in the mist to stumble, it is better for him that a millstone be hung around his neck, and but whoever causes one of these little ones, whoever believes in me, to stumble, it is better for him that a millstone be hung around his neck, and that he be drowned in depth of the sea. Woe to the world because of stumbling block, for it is necessary that stumbling block come, but woe to that man by whom the stumbling block comes. And if your hand or foot causes you to stumble, cut it off and throw it away from you. It is better for you to enter into the lame or crippled rather than having 2 hands of 2 feet to be thrown into the everlasting fire. And if your eye causes you to stumble, pluck it out and throw it away from you. It is better for you to enter into the life with 1 eye rather than having 2 eyes and be thrown into the fire of Gehenna. See that you do not despise one of these little ones, for I say to you that it is in the Shemaim their messengers always see the face of my Father who is in the Shemaim. The Son of Adam has come to save what was lost. What do you think? If a man has 100 sheep and one of them goes astray, will he not leave the 99 of the mountain and go to seek one that is straying? And if he should find it, truly I say to you, he rejoices more over that sheep than over the 99 that did not go astray. Thus it is not the desire of your Father who is in the Shemaim that one of these little ones should be lost. And if your brother sins against you, go and reprove him between you and him alone. If he hears you, have gained your brother. But if he does not hear, take with you 1 or 2 more, that by mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word might be established. And if he refuses to hear them, then say it to the assembly. And if he refuses even to hear the assembly, let him to you be a gentle and a tax collector. Truly I say to you, whatever you bind on earth shall be having been bound in the Shemaim, and whatever you loosen on earth shall be been loosened in the Shemaim. Again I say to you that if 2 of you agree on earth concerning any matter that they ask, it shall be done for them by my Father who is in the Shemaim. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in their midst. Then Kepha came to him and said, Master, how often shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Up to 7 times. And Yeshua said to him, I do not say to you up to 7 times, but up to 70 70 times 7. But because of this, the reign of the Shemaim is like a certain man, a sovereign who wanted to settle account with his servants. And when he had begun to settle, one of was brought to him who owed him 10,000 talenton. But as he was unable to pay, his master commanded that he be sold, with his wife and the children and all that he had, and payment to be made. Then the servant fell down before him, saying, Master, have patience with me, and I shall pay you all. And the master of that servant, who was moved with compassion, released him and forgave him the debt. And that servant was out and found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 silver pieces, and he laid hands on him and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me with what you owe. And then his fellow servants fell down at his feet and begged him, saying, Have patience with me, and I shall pay you all. But he would not, and went and threw him into prison till he should pay the debt. And when his fellow servants saw what had been done, they were deeply grieved, and came and reported to their master all that had taken place. Then his master called him and said to him, Wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt, seeing you begged me. Should you not also have compassion on your fellow servant, as I also had compassion on you? And his master was wroth, and delivered him to the torture until he should pay all that was due to him. So also my Father of the Shemaim shall do to you, if each of you, for his heart, does not forgive his brother his trespasses.
Matthew chapter 19. And it came to pass that when YAHSHUAH had finished this thing, he departed from Galilee and came into the coast of Judea beyond Jordan. And a great multitude followed him, and he healed them there. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said unto him, Have you not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And he said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and that they two shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twine, but one flesh. What therefore Elohim has joined together, let no man put asunder. They say unto him, Why did Moshe then commanded to give a writing of dishonesty and to put her away? And they said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of their heart, suffered you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, expect it for fornication, and shall marry another, commit adultery. And whosoever marrieth her which is put away doth commit adultery. His disciples said unto him, If your cause of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry. But he said unto them, All men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. For there are those eunuchs which were so born from their mother's womb, and there that are eunuchs which were made eunuchs of men. And there be eunuchs which have been made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. Then were they brought into him little kids, that he should put his hand on them and pray, and the disciple rebuked them. But Yahshua said, Suffer the little children, Suffer little children, and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. And he laid his hand on them and departed thence. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest you me good? There is none good but one, that is Elohim. But if you will enter into life, keep the command. And he said, which? Yahshua said, You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness. Honor your father and mother, and love your neighbor as yourself. The young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth. Up what lack I yet? Yahshua said unto him, If you will be perfect, go and sell that which has, and give to the poor, and you shall have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had a great possession. Then said Yahshua unto his disciple, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I said unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of the needle than for the rich to enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. When his disciples heard thee eat, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, Who then can be saved? But Yahshua beheld them and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with Yahweh all things are possible. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed you. What shall we have therefore? And Yahshua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that you which have followed me in regeneration. When the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, you shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone that hath forsaken us into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with his laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into this vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go you also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I give you. And they went their way. And again he went out about the 6th hour and 9th hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, Why stand you here all the day idle? They said unto him, Because no man has hired us. He said unto them, Go you also into the vineyard, and whosoever is right, that you should receive. So when even was come, the owner of the vineyard said unto his steward, Call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came, they were hired about the 11th hour. They received every man a penny. But the first came, they supposed that they should have received more than they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, saying, These the last have fought but 1 hour, and have made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and heat of the day. But he answered the one of them and said, Friend, I do you no wrong. Did you agree with me for a penny? Take that thine and go your way, and I will give unto this the last, even as unto you. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? Is thy eye evil because I am good? So that the last shall be the first, and the first shall be last. For many be called, but few chosen. And Yahshua, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 disciples apart in the way, and said unto them, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be betrayed unto the chief priests and unto the scribe, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall gather him to Gentiles to mock and to scourge and to impale him, and the third day he shall rise again. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children, with her son worshipping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto him, What wilt you? She said unto him, Grant that these my two sons, may sit the one on your right hand and the other on your left in your kingdom. But Yeshua answered and said unto you, and said, You know not that what you ask. Are you able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They said unto him, We are able. And he said unto them, You shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptizing with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two brethren. But Yeshua called them unto him and said, You know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and that they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you. But whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. And as they departed from Jericho, a great multitude followed him. And behold, 2 blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Yeshua passed by, cried out, saying, Have mercy on us, O Master, O Son of David. The multitude rebuked them, because they should hold their peace. But they cried the more, saying, Have mercy, that our eyes may be open. Yeshua had compassion on them and touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes was received sight, and they followed him. Matthew chapter 21. And when they drew near unto Jerusalem, and were come to Bethphage, unto Mount of Olives, then sent Yeshua 2 disciples, saying unto them, Go into the village over against, and straightway, and you shall find a donkey tied and a cloak with her. Loose them, and bring them unto me. And if any man said out unto you, you shall say, The master hath need of them, and straightway he will send them. And this was done that it may be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet, saying, Tell you the daughter of Zion, behold, their king comes unto you, meek and sitting upon a donkey, and a cloth the foal of a donkey. And the disciple went and did as Yeshua commanded them, and brought the donkey and the cloth, and put on them their clothes, and they set him thereon. And a very great multitude spread their garments in the way. Others cut down branches from the trees and strewed them in the way. And the multitude that went before and that followed cried, saying, Hosanna to the Son of David. Blessed is he that comes in the name of Yahweh. Hosanna in the highest. And when he was coming to Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, Who is this? And the multitude said, This is Yahshua the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee. And Yahshua went into the temple of Yahweh and cast out all them that sold and brought into the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seat of them that sold doves. And he said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called the house of prayer, but you have made it a den to them. And went out of the city into the Bethany, and he lodged there. Now in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered. And when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it, and found nothing thereon, but leaves only, and said unto it, Let no fruit grow on this henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, How soon is the fig tree withered away? Yahshua answered and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, if you have faith and doubt not, you shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if you shall say unto this mountain, Be you moved, be you cast into the sea, it shall be done away. And all things whatsoever you shall ask in prayer, believing you shall receive. And when he was come into the temple, the chief priests and the elders of the people came unto him as he was teaching, and said, By what authority do you? So will ask you one thing, which if you tell me, I in likewise will tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John, whence was it? From heaven or from men? And they reasoned with themselves, saying, If we say from heaven, he will say unto us, Why did you not then believe him? But if we say of the men, we fear the people, for all hold John as a prophet. And they answered Yahshua and said, We cannot tell. And he said unto them, Neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. But what think you? A certain man had 2 sons, and he came to the first and said, Son, go work today in the vineyard. He answered and said, I will not. But afterward he repented and went. And he came to the second and said likewise. And he answered and said, I go, sir, and went not. Whether of them twain did the will of the Father? They said unto him, the first. Yahshua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that the publicans and the harlots go into the kingdom of Yahweh before you. For John came unto you in the way of the righteousness, and you believe him not. But the publicans and the harlots believed him. And you, when you have seen it, repented not afterward, that you might believe him. Here another parable. There was a certain householder which planted a vineyard and hedged it round about, and digged a winepress in it, and built a tower, and let it out to husbandmen, and went into a far country. And when the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servant to his husbandman, that they may receive the fruit of it. And the husbandman took his servant, and beat one, and killed another, and stoned another. Again he sent other servant, more than the first, and they did unto him likewise. But the last of all he sent unto him his son, saying, They will revive my son. But when the husbandmen saw the son, they said among themselves, This is the hire, come let us kill him, and let us seize on his inheritance. They caught him, and cast him out of the vineyard, and slew him. When the owner therefore of the vineyard comes, what will he do unto the husband?
Their way, this one to his field, and that one to his trade. And the rest, having seized his servant, insulted and killed them. But when the sovereign heard, he was wroth, and sent out his soldiers, destroyed those murderers, and lit their city on fire. Then he said to his servants, The wedding feast indeed is ready, but those who were invited were not ready. Therefore go into the streets, corner, and as many as you find, invite them to the wedding feast. And those servants went out into the street corner, and gathered all whom they found, but both wicked and good, and the wedding hall was filled with guests. And when the sovereign came in to view the guests, he saw that there a man who had not put on a wedding garment. And he said to him, Friend, how did you come? In him hand and foot, and took him away, throw him out for many are called, but few are chosen. Then the Pharisees went out, plotted out how to trap him in his words. And they sent to him their Talmudims with the Herodians, saying, Teacher of Elohim, is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not? But knowing their wickedness, Yeshua said, Why do you try me, you hypocrite? Show me the coin of the tax. And they brought him a silver piece. And he said to them, Whose likeness and inscription is this? And they said to him, Caesar. And he said to them, Then give to Caesar what is Caesar, and to Elohim what is Elohim. And having heard, they marveled, and left him, and went away. On that day Sadducees, who says there is no resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moshe said that if anyone should die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife, and raise offspring for him. And there were with us 7 brothers, and the first died after he had married, and having no child let his wife be to his brother, and the same way the second also, and the third unto the seventh. And the last of all the women died too. At the resurrection then, whose wife of the 7 shall be for all he had are for your heart and with all your being and with all your mind. Shall meet him, saying, the scribes and the Pharisees sit on the seats of the Moshe, and therefore whatever he says to you to guard and do. For they bind heavy burdens hard to bear, and lay on them men's shoulder, but with their fingers they do not want to move them. And they do all their works to be seen by men, and they make their feet length wide and lengthen the seat of their government. And they love the best place at feasts and at the best seats in the congregations, and the greetings in the marketplaces, and to be called by men Rabbi, Rabbi. But you do not be called Rabbi, for one is your teacher, HaMashiach, and you are all brothers. Whoever humbles himself shall be exalted. But woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you shut up the reign of the Shemaim before men, for you do not go in. These hypocrites, because you eat up windows, houses, and for a show make long prayers. Because of this you shall receive greater judgment. Woe to you, a son of Gehinnom, twofold more than yourselves. Woe to you, blind guides, who say, whoever swears by the Mishkan, it does not matter. But whoever swears by the gold of the Mishkan is bound of oath. Fools and blind, for which is greater the gold is on it, is bound by oath. Kodesh. He then who swears by the altar swears by it and by all that is upon it. And he who swears by the Mishkan swears by it and by him who is dwelling in it. And he who swears by the Shemaim swears by the throne of Elohim and by him who is sitting upon it. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you tithe the mint and the anise and cumin, and have neglected the weightier of the Torah, the right rulings of the compassion and the belief. This need to have been done without neglecting the others. Blind guides straining out a dinner and swallowing a cane. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you clean the outside of the cup and dish, but inside they are filled with plunder and unrighteousness. Blind Pharisees, first clean the inside of the cup and the dish, so that the outside of them become clean too. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you are like whitewashed tomb, like which outwardly indeed look well, but inside are filled with dead men's bones and all uncleanness. So you too outwardly indeed appear righteous to men, but inside you are filled with hypocrisy and lawlessness. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because you build the tomb of the Nebim and they decorate the monument of the righteous, and say, if we had lived in the days of our fathers, we would not have taken part with them in the blood of the Nebim. Thus you bear witness against yourself that you are sons of those who murdered the Nebim, and you fear the measure of your father, serpent brood of others. How will you escape the judgment of Gehinnom? Because of this, see, I send you Nabim and wise men and scholars. Some of them you shall kill and impale, and some of them you shall flog in your congregations and persecute from the city to city, so that you on your shoulder come all the righteous blood shed on the earth, from the blood of the righteous Hebel to the blood of Zechariah son of Berechiah, whom you murdered between the Mishkan and the altar. Truly I say to you, all this shall come upon the generation. Jerusalem, killed the Nabim and stoning those who are sent to her. How often I wanted to gather your children together, the way a hen gathers her chicken under her wings, but you will not. See, your house is left to you or laid waste. For I say to you, from now on you shall by no means see me, until you say, Baruch is he who is coming in the name of Yahweh. Matthew chapter number 24. See, your house is and going out, Yahshua went away from the Mikdash, and his Talmidim came near to point out to him the building of your coming and of the end of the age. And YAHSHUAH answering said to them, take heed that no one leads you astray. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and they shall lead many astray. And you shall begin to hear fightings and reports and fightings, and you see that you are not troubled, for this have not taken place, but the end is not yet. The nation shall rise against nation, and reign against reign, and there shall be scarcities of food, and deadly diseases, and earthquakes in palaces. And all these are beginning of bad pain. Then you shall deliver up the afflictions to kill you, and you shall be hated by all nations for my name's sake. And the many shall stumble, and they shall deliver up one another, and you shall hate one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise up and lead many astray. And because of this increase in lawlessness, the love of many shall become cold, but he who shall endure to the end shall be saved. And this good news of the reign shall be proclaimed to all the world as a witness to all the nations, and the end shall come. So when you see this abomination that lay waste spoken by Nabi Daniel pick up in the Mikdash, he who reads, let him understand. Then let those who are in the Yehuda flee to the mountains. Let him who in the house top not come down to take whatever out in the house, and let him who is in the field not turn back to get his garments. And woe to those who are pregnant, and to those who are nursing their children in those days. And pray that your fight does not take place in the winter or on the Sabbath, for there shall be a great distress such as has not been seen the beginning of the world until the time now. The sake of the chosen ones, these days shall be shortened. If anyone then say to you, look, here is Hamashiach, or there, do not believe. For the false Mashiach and false prophets shall arise, and they shall show me great signs and wonders, so that they lead astray, if possible, even the chosen ones. See, I have warned you before. I have warned you. So if they say to you, look, here is the desert, do not go out. Or, look, here is the inner rooms, do not believe. For as the lightning comes from the east and shines to the west, so also the coming of the Son of Adam be. For wherever the dead body is, there is vultures shall be gathered together. And immediately after the distress of those days, the sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give its light, and the stars shall fall from its own from the Shemaim, and the power of the Shemaim shall be shaken. And the signs of the Son of Adam shall appear from the four winds, from one end of the Shemaim to the other. And learn is this parable from this fig tree. When its branches are already become tender and puts the forth the leaves, you know that summer is near. So you also, when you see all this, know that he is near at the door. Truly I say to you, this generation shall by no means pass away until all this takes place. The Shemaim of the earth shall pass the Shemaim, but my fathers alone. But my fathers only. As the days of Noah, and as also shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. For as they were in the days before the flood, eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day of Noah entering into the ark. And they did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. The two shall be in the field, the one is taken and the other is left. Two shall be grinding at the mill, one is taken and one is left. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour the master is coming. And you know this, that if the master of the house had known what the hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Because of this, be ready too, for the Son of Adam is coming out at an hour when you do not expect him. Who then is trustworthy and wise servant, whom his master put over his household to give them food in season? Baruch is that servant whom his master, having come, shall find so doing. Truly I say to you that he shall put him over all his possessions. But if that evil servant says in his heart, my master is delaying his coming, and begin to beat his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with his drunkard, then the master of the servant shall come one day when he does not expect it, and at an hour he does not know, and he shall cut him in two, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Matthew chapter 25. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them, but the wise took oil in their vessel in their lamp. While the bridegroom tarried, they all stumbled and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom comes, go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamp. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us. And you, but you go rather to them that sell and buy for yourself. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Master, Master, open to us. And he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for you know neither a day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man comes. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servant and delivered unto them his good. And unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, to every man according to his several ability, and straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them other 5 talents. And likewise he had that received 2, he also gained other 2. But he that received 1 went and digged into the earth and hid his master's money. After a long time the master of those servants came and reckoned with them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Master, you delivered unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained 5 beside them which talents more. His master said unto him, Well done, you good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter you into the joy of your master. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, Master, you delivered unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. His master said unto him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over the things. Enter you into the joy of your master. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said unto master, I knew you that you art a hard man, reaping where you are not sown, and I'll gather where you haven't strode. And I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent and in the earth. And lo, there you hast that is thine. The master answered and said unto him, You wicked and soulful servant, you knew that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strode. You ought therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him that hath 10 talents. For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he that hath abundant, but from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. And cast you the unprofitable servant into the order of the darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on the right hand, but on the goats on the left hand. Then shall the king say unto them, His right hand, Come, you blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer to him, saying, Master, when saw we you hungry and fed you, or thirsty and gave you drink? When saw you a stranger and you took you in, or naked and clothed you? Or when we saw you sick and in prison, and from me you cast into the everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels? For I was hungry, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick, and in prison, and you visited me not. Then I say unto them, saying, Verily I say unto you, insomuch as you did it not to one of the least of these, you did it not to me. And this shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. The book of Matthew, chapter 26. And it came to pass, when YAHSHUAH had finished all these things, he said unto his disciple, You know that after 2 days in the feast of Passover, the Son of Man is betrayed to be impaled. Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas, and consulted that they may take YAHSHUAH by subtlety and kill him. But they said not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people. Now when Yahshua was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having a lobster box of every precious ornament, and poured it on his head, and he sat at his meat. And as he sat at meat, but when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for so much and given to the poor. But Yeshua understood it. He said unto them, why trouble you the woman? For she hath brought a good work upon me. For you have the poor also always with you, but me have not always. For in that much have poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, whosoever this good news shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman hath done, to be told for a memorial of her. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests and said unto them, what will you give me, and I will deliver him unto you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that time he sought opportunity to betray him. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciple came to Yahshua, saying unto him, where will you that we prepare for you to eat Passover? And he said, go into the place of the city to such a man, and said unto him, the master saith, my time is at hand, I will keep my Passover at my house with my disciple. And the disciple did as Yahshua had appointed them, and they made ready the Passover. And when the even was come, he sat down with the 12, and as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceedingly sorrowful, and begat everyone to them, said to him, Master, is it I? And he answered and said, he that dips this hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him, but woe unto him the man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for that man if he had not been born. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, is it I? He said unto him, you have said. And as they were eating, Yahshua took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to his disciple and said, take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, drink all of it. For this is my blood, and this is my New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sin. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of vine until the day when I will drink it with you in my Father's kingdom. And when they had sung a hymn, they went out into the mountain of Olives. Then said Yahshua unto them, all you shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. But after I am risen again, I will go before you into Galilee. Peter answered and said unto him, though all men shall be offended because of you, yet I will never be offended. Yahshua said unto him, verily I say unto you, that this night before the cock crows, you shall deny me thrice. Peter said unto him, though I should die with you, yet I will not deny you likewise. Also said all the disciples. Then came Yahshua with them into a place called Gethsemane, and said unto the disciples, sit you here, while I go and pray order. And he took with him Peter and 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then said he unto them, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry you here and watch with me. And he went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will. And he comes unto their disciples and finds them asleep, and said unto Peter, what could you not watch with me an hour? Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, your will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed that time, saying the same word. Then cometh he to his disciples and said unto them, sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of the sinner. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doeth betray me. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with sword and stave from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, whosoever I shall kiss, that is the same is whosoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Hold him fast. And forthwith he came to Yahshua and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Yahshua said unto him, Friend, wherefore art you come? Then came they and laid hold on Yahshua and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahshua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of a high priest and smote off his ear. Then said Yahshua unto him, Put up again your sword into your place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Think you that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 regions of angels? But how then shall the scripture be fulfilled that thus it must be? In that same hour, Yeshua said to the multitude, Are you come out against a thief with sword and staves for to take me? I sat daily with you in teaching in the temple, and you laid no hold on me. But all this was done that the scriptures of the prophet may be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. And they that had laid hold on Yeshua led him away to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto a high priest palace, and went in and sat with the servant to see the end. Now the chief priests and the elders and all the council sought false witness against Yeshua to put him to death, but found none. Yeah, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. At the last came two false witnesses, and they say, These fellows said, I am able to destroy the temple of Yahweh and to build it in 3 days. And the high priest arose and said unto him, Answer you nothing? What is it which witness against you? But Yeshua held his peace. And the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure you by the living Elohim, that you will tell us whether you be the son Messiah, the son of Yahweh. Yeshua said unto him, You have said, Nevertheless, I say unto you, hereafter shall you see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of the power and the coming in the clouds of the heaven. Then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, He has spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witness? Behold, now you have heard his blasphemy. What think you? They answered and said, He is guilty of death. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with their palms of their hands, saying, Prophesy unto us, you Messiah. Who is he that smote you? Now Peter sat without into the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, You also was with this man of Galilee. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what you say. And when he was gone out in the porch, another maid saw him, and said unto him that were there, This fellow was also with Yeshua of Nazareth. And again he denied with an oath, I do not know the man. And after a while came him they that stood, and said to Peter, Surely thou also art one of them, for your speech betrayed you. When began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man? And immediately the cock crew. And Peter remembered the words of Yeshua, which said unto him, Before the cock crows, you shall deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly. Matthew chapter 27. When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yeshua to put him to death. And when they had bound him and led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate the governor, then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? See you to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple, and departed, and went and hanged himself. And the chief priest took the silver pieces and said, It is not lawful to put them into the treasury, because it is the price of blood. And they took the counsel and brought with them the potter's field to bury strangers in. Wherefore that field was called the field of blood unto this day. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, And they took the 30 pieces of silver, the prices of him that was valued, whom they of the children of Israel did value, and gave them for the potter's field as Yahweh appointed me. And Yeshua stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, Art thou the king of the Jews? And Yeshua said unto him, You said. And when he was accused of the chief priests and elders, he answered nothing. Then said Pilate unto him, Hearest you not how many things they witnessed against you? And he answered him to never a word, insomuch that the governor marveled greatly. Now at that feast the governor was wound to release unto the people a prisoner whom they would. And they had then a notable prisoner called Barabbas. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, Whom will you that I release unto you? Barabbas of Yahshua, which is called Messiah? For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, Have you nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him. But the chief priests and the elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yahshua. The governor answered and said unto them, Whether of the twin will you that I release unto you? They said, Barabbas. Pilate said unto them, What shall I do then with Yahshua, which is called the Messiah? They all said unto him, Let him be impaled. And the governor said, Why that? What evil hath he done? But they cried out more, and the more saying, Let him be impaled. When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but rather a tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person. see you to it. Then answered all the people and said, His blood be on us and on our children. Then released he Barabbas unto them, and when he had scourged Yahshua, he delivered him to be impaled. Then the soldiers of the governor took Yahshua into the common hall and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they striped him and put him on a scarlet robe. And when they had impaled and planted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head and a reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail the King of Jews! And they spit upon him and took the reed and smote him on the head. And after that they had mocked him, they took the robe off from him and put his own raiment on him and led him away to impale him. And as they came, they found a man, Syrian Simeon by name. Him they compelled to bear his stake. And when they were gone out to a place called Golgotha, that is to say, a place of skull, they gave him vinegar to drink mingled with the gall. And when he had tasted therefore, he would not drink. Now they impaled him and parted his garment, casting lots, that it may be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vestures did they cast lots. And sitting down, they watched him there, and they set up over his head his accusation written, This is Yahshua, the King of the Jews. Then were two thieves impaled with him, one on the right and another on the left. And they that passed by revived him, waving their heads, and saying, You have destroyed the temple and built in 3 days. Save yourself, if you be the son of Elohim. Come down from the tree. Likewise also the chief priest mocking him with the scribes and the elders said, He saved others, himself he cannot save. If he be the king of Israel, let him now come down from the tree, and we will believe. He trusted in Yahweh, let him deliver him now. If he will have him, for he said, I am the son of Yahweh. The thief also which were impaled with him cast the same in his teeth. Now, from the 6th hour there was darkness all over the land unto the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Yahshua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, which is to say, my El, why have you forsaken me? Some of them that stood there, when they heard that this man called for Elias, and straightway one of them ran and took a spear and filled it with vinegar, and put it in a reed and gave him to drink. The rest said, let us see whether Elias will come to save him. Yahshua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the spirit, and behold, the veil of the temple was rented into twine from the top to the bottom, and the earth did shake, and the rock rented, and the graves were open, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the holy city, and appeared unto many. Now when the centurion and they that were with him watching Yahshua saw the earthquake, and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, Truly, this was the Son of Yahweh. And many women were there beholding afar, which followed Yahshua from Galilee, and ministered down to him, among which was Mary Magdalene, and the Mary mother of James and Joseph, and the mother of Zebedee's children. When the even was come, they came a rich man of Arimathea named Joseph, who also himself was Yahshua's disciple. He went to Pilate and begged for the body of Yahshua. Then Pilate commanded the body to be delivered. And when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn out in the rock. And he rolled a great stone at the door of the scripture and departed. And there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary sitting over against the scripture. Now the next day that followed the day of the preparation, the chief priests and the Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, Sir, we remember that deceiver said while he was yet alive, After 3 days I will rise again. Command therefore that the spectre be made sure until that day, lest his disciple came by night and steal him away and say unto the people, He is risen from the dead. So the last era shall be worse than the first. Pilate said unto him, You have such hours, go by your way, make it sure as you say, as you can. So they went and made the spectre sure, sealing the stone and setting a watch.
Matthew chapter number 28. Now, after the Sabbath, towards dawn on one of the Sabbaths, Miriam Magdala and the other Miriam came to see the tomb. And see, there was a great earthquake, for a messenger of Yahweh came down out of the Shemaim and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat on it. And his appearance was like lightning, and his garment white as snow. And the guards trembled fear of him and became like dead men. And the messenger responding said to the woman, Do not be afraid, for I know that you seek Yahshua who was impaled. He is not here, for he has raised. And he said, come and see the place where our master lay. Go quickly and say to his Talmidim that he was raised from the dead, and see he is going before you to Galilee. Therefore you shall see him. See, I have told you. And they left the tomb quickly with fear and great joy, and ran to report to his Talmidim. As they were going to report to his Talmidim, see, Yahshua met them, saying, Greetings. And they came and held him by the feet and bowed to him. Then Yahshua said to them, Do not be afraid. Go report to my brothers to go to Galilee, and they shall see me there. And while they were going, see, some of the sentries, having gone into the city, reported to the chief Kohanim all that took place. And they came together with the elders and take counsels. They gave enough silvers to the soldiers, saying, Say that these Talmidim came at night and stole him and away while we slept. And if this should be reported to the governor, we shall win him over and keep you out of trouble. And having taken the silver, they did as they were instructed, and they accounted that was widely spread among Yehudim to this day. And the 11 Talmidim went away into Galilee to the mountain of which Yahshua had appointed for them. And when they saw him, they bowed to him, but some doubted. And Yahshua came up and spoke to them, saying, All authority has been given to me in the Shemaim and on earth. Therefore go and instruct all the nations, immersing them in the name of our Father and the Son and the Ruach HaKodesh, teaching them to guard that which I command you. And see, I am with you always. We have been able to go through the book of Matthew, and we are done with the book of Matthew.